People like me don't go surfing. We don't really see black people in the water. When I started telling my surfing story and started talking about how I'm a surfer from South Central, people listened.
Surfing is my way to meditate, my way to get away from all the craziness that's going on in the world.
The first summer that I surfed, that first day I wasn't gonna get in the water at all. There wasn't a wetsuit to fit my 300-pound body, but the volunteers found one that could fit. And because of them doing that, it saved my life, because on that first wave, it showed me something different. So thank you guys for being that special part of my day. And thank you guys for being here, because teaching people to surf is now part of my identity, and you guys help to feed my soul. Love you too. My name is Giovanni Douresseau, and I'm a surfer from South Central. My mom immigrated to this country from Jamaica in the 1980s. She wanted to come here for a better life. 1992, Los Angeles riots, she was pregnant with me. She was approached getting off the bus. People were trying to rob her. One guy stopped the rest of them and said, "Don't do anything to her, she's pregnant." We survived that together. She worked 2 jobs just to keep the lights on. My father left when I was 5. Gio, before surfing, was a kid that felt abandoned. The kid that was depressed but never spoke about it. Overweight. The best role models I had at the time were the gang members that lived around my house. At that age, I didn't really want to join gangs or be a part of them, but even if you're not directly a part of a gang, you're always targeted for what you wear, your skin color, or just being different. I started going to a youth center called a place called home. They opened our eyes to another world. They had a field trip to go surfing. But one of my friends signed up, and I was like, why not just do it? I had to get dropped off at 6 a.m., but they were picking us up at 8:30. There's a shuttle on the other side of the gate, so I hopped the fence, to get warm in the shuttle. I got pulled out by 4 police officers at gunpoint. They're telling me, get out the effing van, get out the effing van now. After I get out, they tackled me and put me on the ground and put me in handcuffs. They searched my bag, and all they found was a surfing field trip, a beach towel, and some swimming trunks. One of the police officers said, you know what? We have his information, we got his name, just put him in the system. He's gonna end up there anyway, and it's gonna make our jobs easier. The other officers said, no, it's fine, just let him go. It's interesting how they were so ready to put my name in the system, and once that happens, everybody in the community knows you're gonna get harassed by the police. 1 turns into 2, 2 incidents turn into 3, and you have a case. That was a moment where my first day going surfing could have been my first day in jail. Once we got to the beach, all these volunteers came over to give us hugs. They said, Sawubona. It's like, what does that mean? And they said, I see you. I'm not just watching you, I see you for the gifts that you share with the world. I see that your gifts sit next to your wounds.
Our kids mostly are African American or Latino. So we go into their roots and we borrow practices from Africa, practices from South America, and we try to wake up their deeper meaning, their deeper purpose.
In that moment when the surfing community accepted me on that first day, I felt like I could belong in a group. This was my new gang.
From the very first day, he was determined to be a surfer. Everybody fell in love with Gio. When I first met him, though, you could see underneath that smile, there was a very broken heart. Somehow he developed an ability through all of that to keep his smile.
When I stepped on that first wave, it was the single most incredible moment of my life. It made me realize that the world is much larger than the 8 blocks and guns and gangs that seemed all too familiar to me. I didn't walk on the sand feeling any of those barriers that I usually felt everywhere else.
Now you step onto the beach, put a surfboard under your arm and look out to that ocean, and you can't fight that. That's bigger than all of us.
We would go surfing every other Sunday for the entire summer.
I don't remember him ever actually fully standing up that first summer. But he never gave up. He was always the last one out of the water, and every instructor wanted to help him just because they wanted a piece of that spirit that would never give up.
Towards the end of the summer, we all sat in a circle. It's about like 100 people sitting in a circle, and then we reflected. So when it got to be my turn, I started up like a rocket, and I said, this is the best summer of my life, and I can't wait for the next one. I love surfing. And once we broke, everybody began to give their hugs and last Sawobonas and goodbyes. And one of the surfing volunteers came over to me.
Beautiful old Tim Wingard, surfed Malibu for 50 years. He's in his 60s already, late 60s. Approaches Gio afterwards and says, if you really meant that, I'll be your mentor.
I said, yeah, man, I can't wait for the next summer so we can go surfing. So he said, how about this? I'm gonna call Youth Mentoring Connection to sign up to be your official mentor, and you don't have to wait to go surfing. We can go next week. I'll pick you up at 6 a.m.
He was just one of the many kids in the surf program. He was a kind person, K-I-N-D. I have $3, and if I had a son, it would be Giovanni.
And so a week goes by, and it's 5:45, and I hear a honking sound outside my mom's apartment, and I see a big red pickup truck with 2 surfboards in the back, and this guy with blonde hair and blue eyes, and he looks totally out of place. It's dark, and he came through Figueroa Street where he had to dodge prostitutes and people selling drugs just to come see me. And the thing that impacted me the most is it was 5:45. I didn't really have any male role models to show up in my life, and especially early. One day when we're out in the water, I'd just gotten off the wave, and I could only stand for a second and then fall off face first into the water again. He looked at me and said, if you want to set a goal to lose 50 pounds in 1 year, I'm gonna buy you a brand new surfboard, wetsuit, and all the surfing equipment. And it started to make me think, do I wanna lose just a few pounds and still be overweight and depressed? Or do I want a life? And that challenge that my mentor gave me made me think.
Tim helped him learn to eat properly, and losing 120 pounds is not an easy thing to do, but with somebody behind you, it can happen, and it did. The metaphorical magic of surfing is incredible for helping transformation happen.
Tim kicked my ass. He was like that tough coach that loves you, but he'll curse like a sailor and let you know what you did wrong.
I feel that it's been a two-way relationship. He's like a son to me. Well, hopefully I have influenced his life and helped him to become the person that he is.
My surfing mentor helped me see that even the worst day in the water is better than the best day on land. Even if you just go out there just to get wet. You would come back on land and be different. Surfing kept me grounded because all those negative ions clash with the negative ions of the water, and that negative and negative create a positive. But the ocean, that's something that you can't fight. As I finished up college, Tim developed dementia. It felt like he was holding on just to see me do great, he gave me 3 things to do in his honor. The first was to dedicate my life to service. The second is to finish school. And the third and final wish was to share a story. Today, I'm a college graduate, also immerse myself in teaching kids how to surf.
There you go. You're not going anywhere.
I joined with a few friends, and we helped to refound the same surfing program that saved my life. We're in our 7th year. The first day of the summer, I got a call from Tim's daughter. He had a stroke and he passed away. And usually growing up in the hood, I'm kind of numb to death. So it was hard for me because I didn't have a father growing up. So he was like the only father figure that I had. Every time that I teach a new kid to surf, I can feel him. Every time I can see a smile on a kid's face because they're experiencing surfing for the first time, I can feel his energy. We had a paddle out for him this summer when he passed away. And it's not a pretty picture because I don't know how to feel with him gone. I think one thing that has made my story have a larger impact is taking ownership of where it started. A lot of times when I go surfing and go to contests and everything, I was that surfer from Malibu or I was a surfer from LMU. Now when you meet me, I'm a surfer from South Central. I get inspired by legends like Nipsey Hussle. He was about everything that you needed to do to be successful. But at the same time, he never lost the hood mentality. He taught everybody that despite where you come from, if you have that drive, turn it around. Turn it around and see what comes out of it. Surfing brought me a new world. It saved my life.